This is the Roland CM-24 plotter, 24-inch plotter. It's a very good machine. I'm going to just talk about a few bits about it. Just in case you've bought one and you don't know how to work it, it's just a little simple guide, I suppose. This machine has a maximum cutting capacity of 580mm. It can roll off 15-metre lengths of vinyl in one go. I think it's a very good machine. It's a little slower than the modern day ones. Remember, this is a very old machine, but it does the job. It's very accurate. It's problem free. It's simple and robust. It's very good, you know. And this has been used in the past by someone else and probably someone before that, and it's still going strong. Never had a problem with it. So yeah, good machine. Compared to these cheap Chinese machines, the Roland's just above it all. I first started off with this machine here. This is a Red Sail 720, I think. When I first got it, I thought it was brilliant. You know, it worked. It cut vinyl. It was, you know, I thought, oh, great. But then after getting this Roland machine some time ago, you see the benefits like amazingly. I mean, well, to start with, these Chinese machines, I don't mean to use Chinese like that, but just like these, the Red Sails, they have a knurled, just like a coarse knurled roller on them. And this is really problematic because your vinyl slips on it and you don't know how much until your job's complete. You go to weed it all out and yeah, nothing matches up. So that's one thing. And you also, with these clamps, they're all plastic and tacky and get stuck, and you have to really put the force down on the vinyl to clamp it to the roller, you know. And other stuff, it's very noisy, you know. The belt and everything's exposed. It doesn't run on a rail, it runs on rollers on here. It's metal. It picks up so much static if you're doing a long job. It can cut the machine out. It can give you a fucking amount of electric shocks I've had off this machine, like static shocks, but they're like powerful ones. It's good to get going, but it's cumbersome, and yeah, I'll never go back to one of these. I just keep this here for backup just in case, but I've never had to use it. You see the amount of dust on it. Yeah, they also have really crappy tools, and yeah, it's not very nice. But anyway, yeah, for the same price of that new, you can get a second-hand Roland machine, which I recommend thoroughly. You know, it's like, that's a lot older than this, and that is far better than this. It's a no-brainer, really. The Roland as well has light sensors on it, which the other machine doesn't have, and a real good grit roller. You wouldn't believe, you put that under a microscope and it's like loads of little pins, and they pierce the paper as the rollers go over, and it keeps it very straight. Very good, very good. Okay, so when you turn your plotter on, the little green light will come on and the head will do a little jiggery thing, and the fans will also run for a second. On the side of the machine you have the pinch roller tensioner, power cord, power button, label with information. To turn it on, push this button. Okay, so this is the side of the machine. You have your pen force lever here, it goes from minimum to maximum. Here you have your control settings of the machine, your parallel port and your serial port for connecting the machine to the computer. On the settings here, number 1 to 5, they're all settings for connecting it to your program on your computer. If you buy one of these machines and you're trying to connect it to your computer, make sure these settings match up with what's on your computer, on your program. You go into the settings in there and you'll find them. Okay, so that's from 1 to 5. Rotate, it will have that to on all the time. I always have that on. What that does, it rotates whatever you plot by 90 degrees in the machine. So if you're having issues of laying out a long length of writing on your computer program and it starts plotting and cuts it in half and is plotting from the wrong side, it's probably because rotate is off. Just turn that on. Blade offset, that is the offset of the blade. Hopefully get into that into a bit. Sheet weight, light is for normal vinyl and normal use. Heavy is obviously for heavy stuff, but I've never even really used that. I turned it on once and it put a big hole in the vinyl, so I've never used that again. Sheet size, roll or piece, that's quite self-explanatory. And smoothing, on or off. What this does is if you keep it on, but if you turn it off, then when you cut a arc or a circle, it won't be smooth. Obviously, it'll just be like a lot of faces on the circle. This is the control panel. On here we have setup, pause, pen mode, replot, test, origin set, up, left, right, down, power light. Okay, so just a quick run through of what these buttons do. Setup is the button you press when you want to set the distance apart from the pinch rollers. Pause is obviously if you're in the middle of a job, press pause to stop it. If you press pause, this light will light up. And then if you hold down setup, the head will reset itself and the machine will stop altogether. Pen mode, you use this for when you're using a pen. I think it slows it down a little bit and gives the ball a little bit of time to draw properly. And I think it also has no offset in that setting, so there's no offset like a blade offset. Replot, if you run a job through your machine, you want to do it many times, you just load your media for the next one, just hit that button and it will do the whole job again. Test, to test your blade pressure, so when you put a new piece of material in the machine, you want to test cut it, then you pick out the insides and you check out your cut and you adjust your pressure accordingly. And also throughout the day, as it warms up and cools down, vinyl becomes stiff and soft, so you have to also adjust your machine through the day. Origin set, that just sets your 0 point, so at the beginning of your job you just hit origin set and that will set your cutter up to where it needs to be. And these are all jog buttons, so you can move your head around and the material in and out with it. So yeah, that's the front. Okay, so this is how you perform a test cut. Make sure your media's in, it's clamped down properly, it's within the parameters, and then you've obviously pressed setup. And then you can jog your material around. You can do it slowly, and then if you hold it down, it zooms back. But yeah, you just get that quite far back to the corner. You don't want the material to fall over this lip. There's a lip in here, and if it goes behind that, it shunts it, and the machine cuts out. So just make sure it's always in front of that. Cover your light sensor. Go forward a bit, and then press origin set. That is now the 0 point. So on your design, in the bottom left hand corner, that will be that point there where the two lines meet. So yeah, you get to that point, then you do a test, and then you feed it out a bit. So that's on here. You just pick the circle out, see how cleanly it comes away. And then the reason why they do a circle and a square is so you pick the circle out to make sure it detaches from each side and make sure your offset's correct, because this cuts a square. If the offset was incorrect, it would either have a little tail on there or a little divot that goes in. And another reason is you pick that one out afterwards and you can check your paper underneath to make sure it's not cutting through it. So that's set up correctly. If you can't lift the circle out, you put more pressure on at the side. If the circle comes out with the papers scored underneath, a little less pressure. You just got to get that balance right, just to so that it cut correctly without wearing your tip out too much either.